Welcome to Trading Essentials channel. In this channel we are dedicated to help the traders who are still struggling to become consistently profitable traders. The topic we're going to talk about today is how to use the trend line to trade. In the last video, we mentioned the trend line, so today our topic will revolve around the trend line. Many traders have a lot of mistakes when using trend lines. My main purpose today is to explain how to use the trend line correctly and to help the traders who are still struggling to become consistently profitable traders. A lot of times some traders want to trade with trend line. There will be such a situation that is to draw a line at random to see the current trend. But for me, if I use the trend line to trade, I must wait for the price touch the trend line at least 3 times if I want to trade. If it's a connection of 2 touch points, it's not a complete trend line because it doesn't have too many confirmations for us to know where the verification point is. I need to see at least 3 touches of the trend line to be a good trading opportunity. The third touch of the trend line for me is a fixed point and a verification point for me. Now we are seeing CAD-CHF chart. So, when would we trade with the trend line? I will consider trading when the third fixed point appears. But before placing our trade, I must see if the third touch point is completely fixed before I consider to trade. Then at the fourth fixed point I may cooperate with other indicators or support and resistance to directly trade pending orders, instead of casually trading along the line when you see 2 touch points. For example, now we notice the CAD-CHF 4-hour chart where we can have an obvious trend line in this area. Now, someone will ask if the wick of the candle is below the trend line, would it be a proper trend line? And for me, as long as the candlestick is closed above or below the trend line, I will be regarded as a proper trend line. Here we can clearly notice a good trading opportunity in 4 hours when we find a potential trend line. But I am not going to trade immediately. I will wait until the third touch and bounce above the trend line before I go to trade. And in the first few videos you can learn how I trade, so I won't explain too much here. In the 1-hour chart we could see the price bounce off the trend line, so I would trade once I saw rejection on the trend line and we could see that it was a profit trade. A lot of times with a trend line, we can trade with a lot of things like support and resistance, RSI, MACD and all kinds of indicators that we're familiar with. In order to avoid people watching this video not using RSI correctly, I will be making an RSI trading strategy in my next video. So, don't forget to subscribe our channel and turn on the notification bell to receive our latest video. These tools may help us get potential returns in this market. For example, in the same area we can see that when the price touches our trend line for the 4th time, we can cooperate with the support and resistance to carry out our trading. Let's see that the RSI is also close to the oversold situation. Then we can also observe the same trend line in the 1-hour chart. We look for the direction of the trade from the bigger picture 4-hour chart, and then look for the entry point of the trade from the smaller time frame of view. Now we have 4 confirmations. At this time, I would be more confident to trade because we already have 4 confirmations. That is, 4 hours of trend lines, 4 hours of support and resistance, 1 hour of RSI oversold, and 1 hour of trend lines. So, I don't trade by feeling, but I will make a trading plan and strictly execute my trading with my plan. Now we are looking at CAD-CHF 4-hour chart. We may notice that the trend line is broken at this time. For some traders who like to trade breakout, they will enter once this situation happens. But I prefer to trade after the pullback. In the process of pullback, we can see that third touches of the trend line are also carried out at the 1-hour time frame, and this position is also the area of support and resistance. So, in this case I would directly place my trade because I already have 4 confirmations, which are the price breakout of the trend line that has been verified multiple times at the smaller time frame, third touches of the trend line, support and resistance, and engulfing candle. If you are a more conservative trader you can choose to trade after the flag pattern has broken. There is no good or bad, it depending on your trading style. And my stop loss will be placed in this area. There is a day chart support and resistance key area above. We can put our take profit target at day chart support and resistance, where we can get a very good trading profit of 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. Now that we look at the NZD/USD 4-hour chart, it is also clear to see that the price has been hitting a new high. And we can connect a potential trend line. When the price touches the trend line, we can observe that the price immediately rebounded. With this time, we can go to the smaller time frame. In the 2-hour chart, we can observe that there is a trading opportunity here. 2-hour RSI is also in the situation of oversold, so we have two confirmations. At this time, I will continue to pay attention to this chart. And then in 2 hours we can see that the price has rebounded after touching the trend line and gives an engulfing candle signal. So now I have one more confirmation, which is the buyers start to take control, and I will trade after this candle close. At this time someone will ask where we need to take profit. And my advice is to follow your trading style to develop your take profit area. If you are trend following traders, you may always get a relatively far target price. If you like to set a take profit area, then you can directly take profit. There is no good or bad for each trading style. Looking further, we can see that the price continues to create higher highs and come to our trend line position again. This time we can cooperate with the support and resistance to place our trade. We may notice there on the 1-hour chart is a double bottom engulfing candle in the support area. So, we can enter once the candle is closed. If you are a more conservative trader, you can enter the market after the price breaks the trend line. There are many opportunities to trade in the market, and as long as we follow our trading strategy, we can continue to make profit. This video will cite more cases to provide better learning opportunities for everyone. Now we can see that in the day chart we can also observe a trading opportunity. Now we may notice that in the chart of NZD/USD, price came to the area of the third touch of the trend line. With the third touch we can pay more attention to this chart. Same situation, we may go to a smaller time frame to look for our trading opportunities. With what I've just said, I'm sure traders who are watching this video right now will be able to see which area I will consider to trade. We can also notice a trend line in this area. Now we have two confirmations, but that's not enough for us to trade. In the next 4 hours, candlestick shows up an engulfing candle and RSI also in the situation of divergence. But because this is a day chart trade, my stop loss will be set a little further. It's also a great trading opportunity. If you're a more conservative trader, you may trade in this area as well. But that's not our topic today. You may go to my previous support and resistance tutorial videos to learn how I would like to trade with this trade. Now we look at the failed cases. In the EUR/CHF 4-hour chart, we can clearly see that the price is slowly returning to our trend line for the fourth time at this time. If we enter the market with the current factors, the price does work as we expected, but then the price falls rapidly. At this time, if we don't set our stop loss and hope the price comes back to the area where we enter our trade, we will face a very serious situation. We'll see what happens in our minds if we don't stop loss. If you don't set stop loss, you will sometimes find that you will not lose money. But as long as there is an unfortunate encounter, you will lose a large part of your money and even affect your life. We can try to imagine about what if we were in the current situation. We have set a stop loss and the price has risen as we expected. But then the price does not move upwards as we expected. At that time, if you had such a bad habit, you would think that the price would continue to rise. So your stop loss could not be set. At this point you will abandon your stop loss and the price came back to where you entered the market. At this point you will be happy and tell yourself that you were right because the price has started to rise, but then it is not as good as you want. The price starts to fall and the trend unfolds. If such an unfortunate situation happens, it will have a huge impact on your funds. Let's imagine if we spend a half year trading and we earn 100% of the account with $100,000. So now we have a $200,000 account, but once we don't set our stop loss and cause our account to lose about 50% of money in our account, it means half a year of hard work is a waste. So, we have to know what we're going to do when we are placing our trades. When should we trade? When should we stop loss? When should we profit? If you don't know the answers of these questions, don't trade until you find out the answers from these questions. This will help you avoid facing financial difficulties in future. By the way, I'm sure some people will ask me if these methods work in other markets besides the Forex market. I would say that most markets are applicable, as long as you're not trading in some market where no one wants to trade. These trading methods will always apply. Just like the chart of the ETH/USD we are seeing right now. The price runs regularly on the trend line and also gives a lot of trading opportunities. In the same situation, if we look at the stock market, we can easily draw a trend line, and this trend line would tell us when we should place our trade. Not only that, we can also notice when the uptrend is terminated and evolved into a downtrend. In the downtrend, we may also notice there is a trend line that can help us for our trading. Because of the limited time, I will arrange other content for other films for everyone. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave a comment below to let us know. In the end of the video, I would share some mindset sharing. Plan your trade. Trade your plan. A lot of new traders trade without a plan, so this is the reason they keep losing in this market. But if a trader designs a plan for himself and execute trade when there is an opportunity for him to trade, they will be way better than trading without a plan, because most of the time traders like to trade based on their feelings. Keep in mind, we don't trade to make our feelings better. If you learned some value from our video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. See you in my next video, and hope you guys have a winning streak throughout the week.